I'm Gabby.
And I'm Shanna.
And we're 27 Travels.
And this video is going to be our top favorite LGBTQ friendly travel destinations of 2025.
And honestly, this is such a hard video to make because you all know, obviously, we love to travel and we love to go to places that are queer friendly, and we feel like narrowing it down to like just some of our top favorites that we think you will want to travel to in 2025 is actually really hard because every place has something different to offer.
And I also feel like over the years, like we've been to so many countries together. I think we've been to probably like around like over 30 countries together. So it just makes it even more difficult for us to be able to pick and choose. And I also think it's really important for queer people to visit places that they know that they're gonna feel safe. And I feel like this list is always changing, so it's always good to like update it and tell you guys our perspective. And obviously this is just based on our personal opinion as a couple traveling the world together. So you might have been to some of these countries and had a totally different experience than us, and like that is okay. This is just our personal opinions because we're trying to help you all travel safely and have a good time when you travel the world.
I think that like it's always changing as the world is changing and politics are changing and these countries' laws are changing. Like things are always changing in the world, and it's good to like kind of have perspective on that.
All right, so we're gonna jump right into the list, and this list is not in any particular order. It's just like the random order that we like wrote it down. So we're gonna have 10 countries on this list, and again, they're not in any order, so it's not like, you know, number 1 is our favorite and number 10 is our like least favorite. They're all in our top. We just like put them in a random order. Okay, so the first one, let me open my list.
We wrote a little list together this morning.
I wrote on my phone.
a little notes on the notes app.
I'm not gonna show you because then you're gonna get spoiled. Okay. So the first one on our list is one of our favorite countries that we have been to twice, and it is Finland.
We always rave about Finland, and I feel like it's somewhere that a lot of people choose not to travel to, and I don't understand why. Maybe they think like, oh, it would be more exciting to go to like Italy per se, you know, like have a Euro summer and go to Italy, but Finland is one of the most amazing and most welcoming countries, and we've been to multiple places in Finland and had the most incredible experience, but we'll tell you a little more about that.
So I think for every place we're gonna put like the LGBTQ laws like on screen somewhere so you can see those, so I feel like that's always important to know, but we always say that the laws don't always dictate the like experience that you have there, or sometimes they do, it just depends, but I think it's just good information to know either way. So as you can see, here are the LGBTQ laws in Finland, and just our experience being there, we have been to Helsinki, we've been to Tampere, and we've been to Turku, and every single place we had the most amazing experience. We either went to queer bars or queer-owned businesses. We saw other queer people, whether they were locals or other travelers. And I just feel like Finnish culture in general just seems like they just kind of like mind their own business. Like they tend to like not really mind what you're doing as long as like you're not bothering them. And I think like that's really important when it comes to traveling to like a queer-friendly place. Is like sometimes you don't need to have the rainbow flags galore. We definitely feel like the people of Finland are very welcoming.
Yeah, like there's a lot of things in Finland, like ideology, that like if it's the forest or the sauna, that it is for everyone. And I feel like that when they say that, they mean it. And you really feel like everywhere in Finland is meant for everyone. You never feel like unwelcome there. You might not see like a million pride flags in every direction, but it's because you actually are treated equally. So you do not have to see a pride flag in every bar or restaurant because people treat you with respect. Not to mention there's this amazing program in Finland called We Speak Gay, and there's basically like these little stickers that say that in like different businesses and restaurants and windows, and there's even a map that you can look up online that says like every business in different cities that is like a queer friendly business, and that they basically say that like no matter what, they treat queer people with equality.
And also for the last, I think it's 8 years in a row, Finland has been rated the happiest country in the world. And I feel like for 8 years in a row, for that to be like something that they have won or like something that they've achieved is like really amazing. And you can definitely feel that when you're in Finland. Like everyone just seems like really happy, really content. I feel like that just goes to show that like the people there are just like really welcoming, really nice, really sweet, and that is what they emanate to their people who travel there as well.
Yeah, it's really awesome. And so if you haven't checked out Finland, you absolutely have to. The nature is beautiful, the food is amazing, sauna culture is so fun, and I feel like all of the cities are just incredible to explore on foot. Like I really have no negatives to really say for Finland. The next place on our list is Thailand. I mean, if you've been watching White Lotus, you've seen like these beautiful views of Thailand, and we just went to Thailand and we had the most incredible experience. And Thailand is actually one of the first places that we've ever been to when we were going through customs, and they actually had like a queer rights sticker like on the customs booths. We didn't take a photo of it because obviously
you can't take pictures there, yeah.
But it was something that when we were coming in through the airport, we just felt so welcome.
Like instantly welcome, just to see like every single customs desk had like a LGBTQIS like rainbow heart like sticker on it, and it's like that everyone who is entering the country will see that. I feel like that's just like amazing for us, like to see that as like queer people. And also Thailand just became recently, I think it was earlier this year, the first country in Southeast Asia to legalize same-sex marriage, which is amazing. And that was actually the reason why we went to Thailand, because we were there to like kind of like celebrate that with some of the like queer locals and stuff. Like we were invited by the tourism board to do that. But that is just like so amazing for that part of the world to have like such a queer friendly place and a queer friendly destination, and a place where like queer couples know that they can like go and get married, because that is such a big deal for that region of the world.
It's amazing, and definitely everywhere we went in Thailand, we went to a few different places. We felt really welcomed and really accepted, so we thought that that was an incredible experience and somewhere that you absolutely have to go if you're a queer person in 2025.
Yeah, and in Thailand, we also went to a bunch of different regions. We were in Bangkok, we were in Phuket, and then we were in some of the islands around Phuket, and then we were also in Chiang Mai. And in Chiang Mai, we actually went to a lesbian bar there, so we really got to experience like the actual like queer and lesbian culture in Thailand. And it was just like, it was so chill. Like the bar was like outside, like very like chill vibes. Like they have different events going on depending on the days of the week. It was just like really fun.
So
like
cool.
Like a really fun thing to do.
I don't think that we filmed like anything in that bar.
I have it on my phone, so I can put like vertical clips in.
We did take a lot of photos when we were there. We did like a little photo thing, so you can see that. The bar was called Sapphic Riot. Shanna can insert it here, but we had an amazing time, and there was definitely even more queer places to explore like in Chiang Mai, so also in Bangkok, which we didn't really get time to do, but like we would love to go back and get to do that. But Thailand definitely needs to be like up here on your list. Like absolutely.
Yeah, I think Thailand also just like has just culturally been known as like a queer friendly destination in that part of the world, even before, you know, they passed same-sex marriage. They just tend to be a little bit more welcoming and a little bit more queer friendly than some of the other countries like in that region. And I just feel like we really felt that while we were there. Like we just had the most amazing experience there, and we really want to go back, because we were really only in Thailand for a week, and for us traveling all the way from the US to there, we need more time there to explore and do more queer friendly things in Thailand.
Also, everyone, the people, the food, the views, everything. I have nothing.
The hospitality in Thailand, like no other country we've ever been to before.
It cannot be beat.
So the next country on our list is Australia, and Australia is always going to hold a special place in mine and Gabby's heart, because it's the country where we eloped. We eloped in Australia at World Pride in 2023 because Gabby and I actually met at Pride. So we were in Australia for World Pride, so we were there for like 10 days, and we really got to experience, like, we were in mostly Sydney, and then we went to Byron Bay, but we just got to experience the queer culture in Australia, and it was just like so amazing, so welcoming, so many queer people, so many amazing queer events, queer bars, queer businesses. Like we just absolutely loved it there.
Yeah, we had the most incredible experience. We got married on the beach, which was so epic, and just like we went to so many cool queer bars, and honestly, we would love to go back to Australia. Like we've heard even more amazing things from other queer people about other parts of Australia that we have not yet been to.
Like Melbourne and like other areas, like, you know, on the other side of the country, because we were really only on like the east side.
Exactly. So like that makes us feel like, obviously from experience, we can tell you that where we went was amazing and super queer friendly, but hearing from other queer people that other places in Australia are also like that makes us want to give Australia as a place that you should definitely go to. Like we had the most amazing experience. It cannot be missed. Sydney is amazing, and it's a great city, and everywhere else we went was also incredible. So I feel like you have to go to Australia, and Australia, unlike the other two places we've talked about, is somewhere where you will see pride flags everywhere. Like
everywhere. Pride crosswalks, pride flags, rainbow stickers everywhere, like very visible queer people like walking around, like being normal, holding hands with their partner. Like
obviously we went for World Pride, and anytime you travel somewhere for World Pride, the kind of like rainbow-esque vibes
it's like
elevated and even more intense. But I know for a fact that, like, you know, Sydney has a gay area with lots of like local businesses and shops and bars and stuff, and that area is always going to be like that, with like flags everywhere and like hotels representing. So it's somewhere where if you like to travel to a place where you see rainbow flags everywhere and you know you're welcome, like Australia is definitely gonna be the place for you. The next place we're gonna talk about is Curacao, which obviously I have to shamelessly plug here because it is where my family is from, if you didn't know that. Curacao is somewhere that now I would say going into 2025 is a very queer friendly place. Maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, it felt welcoming, but the laws were not like up to par with the way that you felt when you were in Curacao. But now, especially as a tourist, the laws are protecting you. Last year, they legalized same-sex marriage, which is absolutely amazing. In the last few years, they also started Curacao Pride, which happens in October, and is just something that would be incredible to travel there for. I just feel like as an LGBTQ plus person in Curacao, you're gonna be really welcomed, and there's lots of hotels that are supporting you and businesses, and there even is a queer bar now called Gaze, where you can go and do like Thursday night karaoke, which we did once, which is really, really fun. So I think that it is just an up and coming destination for queer travelers.
Yeah, I feel like obviously Gabby and I have been going to Curacao together for the last like almost 10 years, and she's been going her whole life. But I think over the years we can definitely see like the more visible signs of inclusivity and like welcoming, like definitely like, you know, more pride flags, more queer people. We actually know a lot of the queer locals there now just because we go there so often. It's just really nice to hear like their perspective on their country and like how happy they are like about the progress like moving forward and stuff. And again, the Caribbean is also kind of a destination where a lot of the country's laws tend to not be queer friendly, so it's really nice to know that Curacao has passed same-sex marriage, is like willing to protect their queer locals and stuff like that. So that's really good to know. And also like we just have an amazing time every time we go. We always tell everyone you have to go to Curacao. And also the bluest and clearest water we've ever seen out of anywhere we've traveled in the entire world. Yeah. I'm just saying, we've been to so many countries. Like we said earlier in the video, like over 30 countries together. Still no water compares to Curacao.
Like we might be biased, but it is still #1. You will have the most incredible time. It is absolutely the perfect trip where you can get like the beach vibes, but also the culture of the island. Like I feel like Curacao has everything going on when it comes to that. And like Shanna said, you will go to the most incredible beaches you've ever been to.
So the next country on our list is Mexico, and we have been to 2 different like regions in Mexico. We've been to like the Tulum, Cancun, like that area, and then we've also been to Los Cabos, and I would say in both places we definitely felt welcomed. I do think that compared to some of the other places on this list, it's maybe not the most like overtly welcoming, but I do think that Los Cabos for sure has been working really, really hard on trying to make Los Cabos like very welcoming for queer people specifically. Like they definitely are doing more stuff with like rainbow flags and queer events and queer businesses and like showing like which places are queer friendly and stuff like that. And we haven't been to like the Cancun, Tulum region in like a really long time, but while we were there, it was like 2017, 2018 or something, we definitely felt comfortable being ourselves there. I just think it maybe wasn't as like open as some of the other countries that on this list that we've been to, but I definitely think for that part of the world, like Central America region, Mexico is definitely one of our favorites as a lesbian couple.
Yeah, especially Los Cabos. We even got to march in Los Cabos Pride, which they do, and it was a really cool experience, and definitely they are working really, really hard to make LGBTQ plus travelers feel really safe when you're in Los Cabos. So I feel like even if Mexico might not be like the top #1 on this list in our opinions, it definitely is somewhere worth mentioning and worth traveling to if you're a queer person.
Okay, so the next country we're gonna mention is Sweden, and Sweden is definitely one of our top favorite countries to visit in the entire world. Like we go there a lot because my best friend lives there, so we have been to Sweden together probably like 3 times, but like I have been going to Sweden since I was like, I don't know, 20 years old, 19 years old or something, so it's always been one of my favorite countries. I absolutely love it there, and their LGBTQ laws are amazing. It's very similar to Finland. I mean, obviously those countries are close together, but just like the culture of Sweden is very similar to Finland, where like it seems like if you're minding your own business, the people of Sweden don't really mind what you're doing. There are so many queer businesses there. I think a little bit more of like the rainbow flags, like rainbow crosswalks, especially in Stockholm, like versus, you know, Finland, for example. But like in Sweden, we have been to Stockholm and Malmo, so we've been to like 2 of the major cities and have felt absolutely welcomed in both of those.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is that I feel like in comparison to Finland, Sweden is more like overtly queer. Like you see like flags in businesses, flags in different restaurants and bars that are like overtly queer bars, which I think is something that in comparison to Finland is a little different. So that is something that's amazing. Like in Stockholm or Malmo, you can find like queer bars, queer restaurants, queer flags, like you know where you're welcomed. And I feel like that's something with Sweden that is really nice.
Yeah, and I also think with Sweden, specifically with Stockholm, there's even like rainbow pride artwork in like one of the train stations. It's like a major train station, and like everyone's always like taking pictures down there, and just like a very overt sign for every single person who either lives there or traveling in Sweden, like you are welcomed here.
Stockholm is a city too that we could just go back to again and again and again, and you can always experience different things. They also of course have like Stockholm Pride, which we've never been to, but it's in the summer and we would love to go to that one day, and that's a great reason to also travel into Sweden. So the next place on our list is somewhere that we had on our bucket list forever, and we finally got to go this year, and that is Japan.
So here are the LGBTQ laws of Japan, and obviously, definitely, if you're comparing it to some of the other countries that we mentioned in this video, they're not as inclusive as some of the other countries, but I do think that after being there for about 3 weeks, we know that they are working really, really hard to make LGBTQ travelers in Japan feel welcomed and included. I think the culture of Japan, kind of similar to what we were talking about in Sweden and Finland, where like everyone is like minding their own business. So everyone is just kind of focused on what they're doing. And everyone is also like very calm, very quiet.
Because of that, that's like a level of safe that you feel, because you don't feel like people are trying to like infringe on your personal space or like know everything about you, which as a queer person, sometimes it's really nice to be able to just like blend in.
We were able to go to Osaka Pride and also Fukuoka Pride. So we got to learn a lot about the queer culture and the queer communities in definitely those cities. And we just know how hard they're working. Like they are working so hard to pass same-sex marriage. And while we were there, we were in Tokyo, we were in Nara, we were in Osaka, we were in Fukuoka, we were also in Kyoto. So we went to a lot of different places in the country, and in every single one, we just felt like really safe and like really welcomed there. Like I think that it's maybe not the most overtly queer friendly place. Like there were some queer bars that we went to in some of these places, but they were a little bit more underground. You had to kind of like know where they were, like know a local who had to tell you where they were and stuff like that. But it definitely, we can see that like they are definitely trying to make it a more queer friendly place for the locals and for tourists alike.
Yeah, what I would say is that Japan, compared to the other places on this list, is somewhere where progress is still happening. Like they are progressing and trying to make those changes and get marriage equality like legalized, and it's something that people in Japan are really, really passionate about.
What we did in Osaka was we actually were like partnering with the Swiss Hotel Osaka to do a vow renewal ceremony, and it was the first time that like a Shinto shrine had ever done a vow renewal ceremony for a same-sex couple, which just goes to show how much progress they are actually trying to do in Japan, especially like in the Osaka area. And we definitely had a great experience while we were traveling there.
I cried when we left Japan. Like on the train, I was like tears streaming down my face, like I don't want to leave. That is how I felt.
So next on our list is Ireland. And Ireland, I just think in general, is probably one of the most, if not the most progressive country we have ever been to. I think the people of Ireland like just want to help like minority groups and just want to help people who are being oppressed. Like you can just feel that energy when you are in Ireland. Like we were in a bunch of different cities in Ireland. Like we were in Dublin, we were in Cork, we were in Galway. Like we were just in a bunch of different areas, and in each area we just felt like the people of Ireland like really, really like support us here. There was so much rainbow flags, rainbow crosswalks. We went to like gay bars and
like
queer-owned businesses.
Gay bars, amazing queer-owned businesses. Like honestly, I think that the gay bar we went to in Ireland is one of my favorites that we've been to like in years. Like it was so much fun, so queer, so welcoming to like everybody in the community. I just think like Ireland is someplace that if you have not been and you're a queer person, you should not be sleeping on. Like you will have an incredible experience, and it is, the cities are so fun, it's so lively, such like a fun culture there, and like it's beautiful everywhere you go.
Yeah, we had the most amazing time in Ireland, and we just felt so welcomed and like so included and safe while we were like traveling through there. Like it was just so amazing to like feel like you were like we were in a country where we didn't have to worry about anything. Like that's really what it felt like in Ireland. We absolutely loved it there.
Like I would go back like that. So next on this list is one of my personal favorite places, and it is Greece. And we're just gonna say Greece as a whole because we've been to multiple different places in Greece, and obviously there are a lot of places you can travel to in Greece, and any place might give you a totally different experience. So we're just gonna talk about our personal experience in Greece.
We've been to Athens, and then we've been to a bunch of the different islands as well. So we've been to like Paros, Santorini, Naxos, Milos, Mykonos, like I think maybe even a few more that I'm like forgetting.
And Athens like multiple times.
We actually feel like Greece and like as a whole, it's like a very queer place. We just always have an amazing time there and see so many queer people, locals and tourists alike in Greece.
Yeah, we love it. And I feel like it is just such a fun trip to go to Greece and do like island hopping, and the fact that we feel welcome there is always amazing. I feel like a lot of people, when they talk about Greece, don't really talk about Athens, and I feel like Athens is an amazing city, and there's a lot of queer spaces like just in Athens. So I think that that is something like, if you're going to Greece, don't just like skip Athens or do like, you know, like 6 hours in Athens, what people do, and then get on a boat and only go to the islands. Like I feel like Athens on its own is also a really cool experience.
Yeah, and like a lot of the islands like also just like feel super queer friendly as well. Like Mykonos, for example, like I actually went there before I met Gabby, but it was very, very queer back when I went in 2015, so I can only imagine
now
what it's like now. Also, if you love cats, you have to go to Greece because there are cats everywhere. Gabby's like literal dream.
It's a cat lover's heaven. You guys. Heaven.
And the last place that we're gonna mention is the Netherlands. And we're gonna mention the Netherlands because we have been there before, but also they were the first country in the whole world to pass same-sex marriage. So I just think that like to go to a country knowing that they have like progressed to that level is just gonna make you feel super, super welcomed. We were there, maybe it was like 2 years ago now.
Like 2 summers ago together?
Yeah, and it was like, we just felt super welcome there. We loved it. We saw like rainbow, like tram cars going by, rainbow flags everywhere. We saw lots of pride flags, and we actually know a lot of locals in the city, and a lot of them are queer as well, and they were telling us some of their favorite places and their favorite things to do and like why they love living there and stuff. So we love Amsterdam just in general. I mean, it's beautiful there, but it's also happens to be a queer friendly place as well.
It's super queer friendly. We also did Rotterdam last time we were in the Netherlands, and that was also an amazing experience. So I think that just the Netherlands in general is a great place to travel to. If you are a queer person, you will feel welcome.
If you know how to bike, you'll love it there. Gabby and I are a little too scared to bike there because their biking there is like driving. So it's like you need to like make sure you're following like all the rules. It's like very intense.
If I got on a bike there, I would be dead. So that is what I have to say about that. But if you're a good biker, you will love it and be able to like access the whole city easily.
All right, so those are our top 10 favorite countries in the world for LGBTQ travelers of 2025. Let us know if you think we need to visit somewhere that needs to be on this list that we haven't been to yet, because we would love to go somewhere new. That's somewhere that's queer friendly.
And we will take you up on that offer. If you drop it below, we will go and try and check those places out. So like, let us know, because obviously if you have had an experience that we haven't, we would love to go to those places as well. I feel like this list is just for 2025. If you haven't been to some of these places and you're looking to plan a trip for this year, definitely recommend trying any of these spots, because you will have an incredible time as a queer person.
And we're actually going to some new countries for us later in the year, so maybe our list will even change. Who knows? You never know.
2026 might look different. You know?
So hopefully you all enjoyed this video. Hopefully if you're a queer traveler or you're just looking for an LGBTQ friendly place to travel to with your friends or something like that, hopefully this video was able to help you. We love all these places that we mentioned on our list, and we could probably even mention so many more. We could probably do a part 2 because there's so many more places.
Yeah, I think you could think of, right?
Yeah. But we just want to say thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you find this video helpful. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you soon with another video.
Bye. Have a gay 2025.